Yes, a very good evening to all our viewers at home, and welcome to another edition of Evening Review. My name is Philip Joseph, and I will be your host in tonight's episode, as we are joined by activist Olsen Kahiriri, where we'll be touching on the latest current affairs that have been happening across the country. Mr. Kahiriri, thank you for making the time, and it's a pleasure to have you with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. It's always a pleasure to come back to the show.
Yes. I mean, let's start at what has been reported in the media as of late from the different media houses, especially if we have to go now at the top of the food chain, that is with allegations surrounding the president on appointments made, projects being secured through her children, and just everything around that. How have you seen that from your end as an activist?
Sure. There's a lot that has happened ever since the president came to State House. I would believe that in a time frame that she has been in State House, there's a lot that happened at her house than any other president who was there. We have learned about naked men visiting the president, probably looking for appointments. And so there's a lot that happened at that house. But most importantly, we recently have read that the president has appointed one who appears to be her relative to be a special advisor to the office of the Attorney General. Why are we surprised? Wamboland People's Organization, aka SWAPO, agenda is actually to destroy the country. Probably the majority of these people, ever since the independence of this country, who has been leading this country, migrated from Angola. Probably their agenda is to see Namibia becoming the next Angola, without rules, without proper administration, without anything. So that does not puzzle me. The president appointing a relative. Why are we shocked when the founding president appointed his lousy son, the one that wear a lot of the big clothes that does not fit him? I don't know his name. You can probably assist me on that one. But that guy was also appointed by the founding president, and nobody asked questions. When government projects were channels to the late Mushimba and all these things, nobody was questioning those things. So it's a SWAPO trend that every president that comes to power must first enrich the people in her circle. When her time passed by or his time passed by, he would not be able to help the country or the citizens of the country. So it's a normal trend. I don't see anything wrong for the president to have appointed her relative. Recently, have you guys even met the president? President does not speak to anyone. No press conferences. Doesn't speak to anyone. Ever since she's been appointed, she's on her own. Now, who do you expect her to appoint? Apart from the naked man who has visited her house, the people that are in her circle is the people that are her relatives, the children, the friends, and the cronies. Yeah. So obviously, when it comes to appointments, she will only appoint those people.
But Mr. Kahiriri, just again to add on what you've said, surely if one has to look at it from a performance point of view, how would you say the president has done fairly for the country? Because even if you go on social media, you tend to find this whole battle happening to say, no, we have this minister performing, we have this minister performing. Kudos to Her Excellency for appointing the likes of Honorable Sankwasa, the likes of Nekundi doing ABC and D. But it seems, if we have to lean back a bit, people are just saying, no, it's more of a thing of word rather than action?
No, Namibia is a circus. And the performing ministers that you are talking of is based on social media outbursts where ministers has hired someone who's taking pictures and videos when they are engaging onto their activities on a daily basis. Now, that is a circus. A performer you will not watch on social media. A performer, you would see the results. We have seen the likes of Samkwaza touring the country, harassing everyone wherever they go. That is not performance. Performance is done or measured on, I've given you $1 million. Out of the $1 million, you were supposed to execute a project within 12 months. You executed that project within 2 months. And what we have invested in that $1 million, the services and the return on the 1 million has brought us.
Yep.
So on that basis, that's how you measure performance. Who has performed? Is it putting speed humps performance? Reflectors on animals? Is that performance? What are we talking of? Appointing of board of directors at parastatals, is that performance? That is what a minister should have done. How do you praise a fish for swimming? The duty of a fish is it was born to swim.
Yeah.
So a minister is appointed to be given a blank check, because normally they table a budget, and after that budget is approved, they must execute that budget. And if one executes it, can't be praised.
Yeah.
They're just doing their duty. By the way, we pay them. We give them Mercedes-Benz to drive in. I know once they are fired, they will not be able to drive in those cars. And if one cannot be able to elevate his own personal life to that level, what do you expect of a big ministry that is being given?
Yeah.
So we have appointed clowns, to be honest.
Yeah. But surely everything at times tends to trickle down all the way to the bottom. And based on what has been said in the corridors, it seems that there is this hidden agenda of people trying to sabotage those in charge, including the president. Because if you look at some of the appointments made, you find that people have found that questionable, but also based on how some ministries have been integrated together and how some of them have performed, some critics feel that there is an agenda or there is someone behind, or rather people that have come together to try to sabotage the president in this regard.
Then he's a very weak president. He's a very weak president who will be sabotaged by outside forces. What we did to the current president, we give her a blank check. And remember, when you follow a person like me, I've always been a critic of not wanting the granny to take over the country, because I did not see anything special about her in terms of performance and all these things. But I'm here today in your show as a testimony that I was right, that the president is a non-performer. Why am I saying so? You see, the Namibian people, when we tell them these things, they take it for granted. You see, I'm part of the collective, but unfortunately I did not favor the president to take over a country. But in a country like ours, a secular state like ours, when one is appointed and elected to take over a country, whether I agree or disagree, that person becomes my president. So by default, I'm an accomplice to the appointment or the elections of such a person. because it's a democratic state. But the lady starts to prove me right, that from day one she was not the right person to take over. Because everybody, when she was campaigning, everybody was saying she's a credible person. She would not enrich herself. She would not favor certain people and all these things. And it seems to me that when you migrated from Angola through the Hangwena areas and resettled in Hangwena, you will be the right person to do work in this country, especially in government. Now, when you appoint cronies from your village and who migrated with you from Angola, what do you expect in terms of results? I've read a book by Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power.
Yep.
One of the rules, the rules that are in that book is you must appoint your enemies. Because if you appoint your friends are reluctant, they will not perform. But your enemies will always want to perform. The Meme and every person who was before her appoints friends. And we do not see any results yielded by this country. The poverty that we have inherited from the South African regime, which I would now say proudly was a better administration than the current one. Because look at the ballooning poverty that we have, how people are living. Look at the DRC, Havana, Mboya, Totina, those areas. Is that the life that our president and Ovambolen People's Organization, OPPO, wants our people to live in? Because we give them a blank check.
Yeah.
Have they improved the lifestyle?
But when we
the president recently removed a minister. Did she explain to the country? Because these people are taking state resources and appoint a friend or a relative into a portfolio, a person who will just sit there without performance. And we, as taxpayers, must fund that. You appoint a minister, yes, it's your prerogative, but appoint a person who's able to match what we are paying them. Now you remove a minister, you are not explaining to us. You appoint, what is that lady at Minister of Health? That socialist. Yeah, those people who are always on social media. Yeah. That lady, you say, give me an explanation as to how you have given a 600 million tender to your brother. Mm-hmm. You wait for an explanation. Yeah. Obviously, you must suspend the person.
But
because you see something that is unprecedented.
Okay. I mean, just something of interest you mentioned there. I mean, again, if we then go back to what you said about enemies that you should appoint, what are we talking about? Are we talking about opposition yes. Political parties?
Yes.
And then how will then the ruling party members take it? Won't they see that as betrayal?
The ruling party is elected by the people to govern for the interest of the people, not for their own personal interest or their political party's interest. The interest of the people. The moment you are appointed as a president, you go to the country, source the best people who can provide the services for the country. Not your friends, not your comrades. People who can deliver. You are looking for a CEO of telecom. Do you want to say that you must appoint your comrades while this country has a pool of competent people? You see, in South Africa, I was fortunate, I studied at Wits University. In South Africa, when they are looking for technocrats to run institutions, they go to Wits University. Either a professor, someone who is at the university, who has the knowledge to be able to take over institutions. Here, we appoint cronies, people who knows nothing. The only thing they know is distraction. So for me, I want to applaud the president for the continuations of distraction of this country. She's doing a very good job. As the trend of the ruling party is to destroy our country, get it as worse as it can be. And she's doing a brilliant job. And the Namibian people must continue putting these people into power. Why are we having issues? Because we have put those lousy people into power, and we have told them time and again that don't bring these people to power.
Okay.
But the results are there.
Okay. Mr. Kahiriri, I will have to cut you short there because we will have to go for a quick ad break, and when we come back, we will take this discussion further. And to our viewers, do not go anywhere, and we will see you right after the break. Yes, welcome back, viewers. We are still joined by the man himself, activist Olsen Kahiriri. Just to go back on what we've discussed, I mean, again, people tend to say it's very easy to criticize and mention all these things happening, but when we speak of issues in terms of death, and for our viewers at home to also maybe get an understanding what should be fixed in this country.
You see, people have been given power to lead. And when they have been given powers to lead, they sometimes criticize us who are questioning how they are doing it. But you have not given us an opportunity to lead. But from the perspective of your question, where you are asking what needs to be fixed, straightforward. Farmers are running around looking for land. Give them land. There in ASAP, people are struggling with boreholes. Go aggressively on these things and drill water, find water for the people. We recently started exporting our animals directly on sea and all this.
Mauritius, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is the industry you must invest into. If you look at our GDP, what is the biggest contributor to the GDP?
Primary sector.
Is primary sector, yeah, which entail agriculture. Invest into it. You see the South African system, when they brought these useless whites who now own our land, these people were peasants in South Africa. They were brought here, given land, financed by government to start the farming, taken to training, assisted by the government, given tractors and all these things. And today we are praising them. So the problem is our government is not running close to the people. If there's no tender that will benefit them, they will not allocate it. So let's start there. Allocate land to the farmers. They need land. After that, give people land, cut renting. If you just find a big open land, give it to the people. Tell them that for these 4 or 5 months, you pay us, and the money you pay us, we are going to service all the utilities and everything you need in that area. You build it with the people. Mm-hmm. This is very easy. And you know why they don't want to do that? The moment you give land to the citizens, you stop the banks for people to purchase houses.
Yeah.
And you stop the people who have built flats in this country. Because at the end of the day, they must pay the bank. And if the people are given land, who will stay in those properties? And those properties are owned by the friends of the people who are leading this country. So give them land so that One can start. You see, the very same way people are living in Havana, they just took a small piece of land illegally and they resettled there. They are living better. So give them just the land for free.
Okay.
They can just pay a small portion over the years.
Okay, but can't we say there's been a number of Namibians, especially if you look at the SME side, that have been given a fair opportunity to build their business, to thrive on the opportunity given by government, but have failed? For instance, if you say, no, Philip, here's this amount, you came to us with a good proposal, but then I decide to go with the trend, disappear, not execute what I was given. Can we still blame the government for that?
Philip, let me be honest.
Yeah.
In this country, you will only get things right when you know the person in the office. And if that person in the office wants something from you,
Yeah.
you understand? The failures of SMEs and Development Bank and Agricultural Bank is because we are giving it to the wrong people. The right people are denied the right things. They are serious business people who are out there. I'm one of the business people who are out there. I don't even have a loan from anyone. The problem is we give the finances to the wrong people. We give it to our cronies. You must first table a SWAPO card in order for you to be given a loan in this country. I'm not talking about private institutions, because private institutions, first priority to private institutions like banks is to help a white man. Secondary, a black person. And this is systemized. I worked in the bank, I know these things. That's why when you are asking for a loan, they would ask the tribe, the locations where you are staying, all those things, give you ratings to disqualify you or to give you a lower qualifications and all these things. So systematically, because systematically we are depriving the right people to contribute to the constructions of this country. And mind you, you want to tell me that the people that are in the oil sector are the right people? No. The people who have the EPL are the right people that should own the EPL. Okay. No. It's because they know people from inside. When you see how these people go to a campaign, they follow a person that they want. They say, now is our time to eat. Now is our time to drain the resources of this country. Let's do this.
Okay.
And then they impose their friends within the system so that they drain the resources. You see, some people, when the budget is out, they take the whole budget and allocate themselves and say, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine.
Okay, but Mr. Kahiriri, I mean, just before we conclude, I mean, just before you came into the studio today, I was going through social media, just some of your history as well. I came across a video where I think someone in the comment mentioned that, no, Mr. Kahiriri is such a bitter man, he didn't, a few other negative comments, such a bitter man, he didn't get a piece to the pie whatsoever. But also on top of that, maybe after that question, maybe also if you can just, I mean, we are in the season of the World Cup now, and obviously football hasn't been good towards our country as of late in terms of, I mean, not only performance, but also just in terms of the administration and all of that. Just how do you take
Yes, the first question in respect of not me receiving a pie from the resources of this country. My brother, I was born as a Namibian. I did not migrate from Angola, like some of those people who probably are telling you that we are bitter because we are not receiving a pie. Go to government offices and ask them if Mr. Kahiriri have applied for anything, like tenders or whatever. None. But I have government institutions that are telling me to apply. I don't want anything to do with the government. Because the attitude of the people who are in the office, you can't work with them. Every time you are doing businesses and I have clients that comes to my office, they always tell me that the people in the government want something before they have been allocated projects and things like that. This is unfortunate. But why would I cry if I have not applied for anything? So I'm not bitter. What I am saying is the resources of this country must be executed equitably and fair to everyone. Yeah. Why am I saying that? Every dollar that we gave to these lousy administrators, including the president, every cent we give them must have a value to it. And if I'm asking that, I'm bitter. No. We gave, because I pay tax. I go to a shop, buy grocery, and I pay tax. I go to buy a car, I pay tax. And that is my money. And that money goes to the state. And these lousy people steal it. And I should sit here, be excited, and when I question, I'm bitter. No. You, first of all, took over a state institution, which is the government, to run it. And I'm here to hold you accountable. So I don't care with whatever angle you want to come with to try and brush me over and what. The Namibian people are suffering. My children are suffering. And what will happen of this country if the trend is the one that the Kereni is continuing to execute? There will not be a country. Let's look at this country in 10 to 20 years. It will be the same as Angola, where these people are migrating from. So you cannot push a citizen of this country, a person who's born in this country, asking questions and you say he's bitter. Let's come to the issue of the World Cup that you have asked. You see, everybody in this world is now very excited. Even Iran, who's at war with Israel and USA, is at the World Cup. Us as a citizen, what are we doing? As administrators of Namibia, people who are given a blank check to run this country, we have been promised that the stadiums will be built. These people cannot even build one stadium. They say, no, we are going to build 7, 8. Every region will improve. Why not focused on one? Just one. So that we qualify to be able to play our football in our country. Why one? Just one. You want to, you can't manage one, you want to do 20. These people are playing. The time that we have wasted ever since these people came to power. The other one is apparently a driver of a taxi. Does he have a license to drive a taxi? Violating the law. These people are clowns. So, unfortunately, we will now have to watch other countries playing the World Cup. And may the best team win the World Cup. I know my team is, from African perspective, Senegal. From the global world's perspective, is Germany. I'm still colonized because the blood that I have is a Nama, Herero, and German blood. Yeah. So I'm Deutsche Mannschaft for the World Cup.
Okay, Mr. Kahiriri, thank you so much for making the time for joining us this evening. And to our viewers at home, that brings us to the end of our episode this evening with me, your host, and the rest of the team. Good night.
Thanks.